In the second part of the quiz review, we're going to be looking at least common multiple, and we have 3 sections on this as well, so we'll work through these. Find the least common multiple by listing the multiples. So listing the multiples, remember that's like skip counting. So number 7, we have 15, and we are going to count by 15. So the multiples of 15 are 15, 30, add 15 to that, you get 45, 60, 75, 90, and we'll stop there for now. We could always go more if we need to, but I think we'll be okay. 20. In fact, the multiples of 20, we should be able to count by 20s pretty easily. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and we see our least common multiple is 60. Over here for 12 and 5, 12, these are our multiples of 12. So if you remember your multiplication facts for 12, that helps. And really, as you work through here, we know that something that ends in a 0 or 5 is divisible by 5. So it looks like that's probably going to be our answer, but since it says list them, we'll go ahead and list. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, almost there, 55, and there's the 60. It is, in fact, the least common multiple. So with listing, if you know your multiplication facts, you can list pretty easily, or you can even think through your multiplication facts, and that can help you find the least common multiple. The next set of questions says find the LCM by using the prime factorization of each pair of numbers. So here we have a few. I forgot to renumber these, so this should be number 9, and this should be number 10. And what we're going to do, if you remember from this lesson 3.5, we want to find all factors, and if there's a double, or if they're in both, you want the higher power. So we look through here, there is a 2, and we need a 2 squared. We need the highest power. We have a 3 down here. There's no 3 in 140, but we still need that 3. 5, there's 2 5s. I think normally we were circling these. We just need the one with the higher power, and that's just a power of 1, so either 1, 5. Same thing with 7. So we have 2 squared times 3 times 5 times 7, and now we just need to multiply that out. 2 squared is 4 times 3 times 5 times 7. This is 12 times 5 times 7. 12 times 5 is 60 times 7. And we learn to multiply things that end in 0. We can do 60 times 7. We can just think 6 times 7 is 42, and we add that 0 on. So 420 is our least common multiple. A lot of our time was taken just multiplying these out. Finding the factors is kind of the new part to LCM, and then just multiplying numbers out. Over here, the least common multiple, we have a 2 to the 4th and 2 squared for least common multiple. We need the 2 to the 4th, the higher one, and then we need a 3 squared. And so our answer is going to be 2 to the 4th times 3 squared. Well, actually, 2 to the 4th we know is equal to 16, so here this is 16. 3 squared is 9. And then we just multiply those together. 16 times 9. 9 times 6 is 54. So 4 add the 5. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 5 is 14. So we get 144 is our least common multiple for 16 and 36. And our last couple we need to find the prime factorization first and then finish the problems kind of like we did 9 and 10. So prime factors of 18. 18, that's 9 times 2, or you could have done 6 times 3, but 9 is 3 times 3, and so the factors for 18 are 2 times 3 squared, and now 30, well, that's 3 times 10, but 10 is 2 times 5, and so for 30, we have 2 times 3 times 5. And for our LCM, we want each factor that appears, and if they appear in both numbers, then you want the higher one. So we have a 2, so we'll circle this 2, we want that. We have a 3 and a 3 squared, well, we pick the higher one. So times 3 squared, and we still have a 5, so times 5. Well, this is 2 times 3 squared is 9 times 5. I'm going to remember that I can multiply in any order. It will just help with my multiplication. So 2 times 5 is 10, and then 10 times 9 is 90. So our least common multiple of 18 and 30 is 90. And over here to 25 and 30, sorry, 25 and 35, 25 is just 5 times 5. So these you might not have needed a factor tree, which is fine. And 35 is just 5 times 7. And so for our least common multiple, out of the 5 and 5 squared, we want the higher exponent, which is a 2, so we have 5 squared. And then we need the 7 here. So this is 25 times 7, 25 times 7, 5, add the 3, 14, 7 times 2 is 14, plus 3 is 17. So the least common multiple of 25 and 35 is 175. So again, your quiz is going to be very much like this review, so make sure you're working through these things first and then go ahead and take your quiz.